moments will be lost in time. Like tears in...
Okay, so welcome once again to Snack Size Film Runners. We're going to give you another quick update on Billy. After he saw himself in Tim's body and killed himself, we were able to save his brain again. It's currently sitting in a jar right beside my computer. But we haven't really worked out a communication system, but we have a green light bulb. And he's able to make it blink once for yes and twice for no. But it's a podcast, so that doesn't really help at all. So we're just going to carry on without him, and we'll try to figure out something better.
It's the good Doctor Who ending that Billy would have wanted.
Yeah, I feel like, you know what, if this is where Billy exists for the rest of his life, I don't think he'd be totally unhappy, you know what I mean?
I mean, he probably would. He'd probably want to be in a Muppet, but that's fine, too.
He would love to be in a Muppet, are you kidding me?
Exactly, right? So you should have probably got a Muppet.
I should have gotten a Muppet. But...
I should have talked about that beforehand.
Speaking of Muppets, what movie did you pick?
How is that a segue?
Speaking of Muppets, what movie did you pick?
I picked Midsommar, but it's the director's cut by... Ari Aster. Am I saying that last name right?
Ari Aster, yeah.
Okay.
And good. That was you chose the director's cut because that was the loophole to allow it to be one.
But yes, I chose Midsommar because it's my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah. And I had seen it before, but not the director's cut. But talk about what is the general sort of synopsis.
So it is about a girl named Danny who goes through a family tragedy, but then also has a really bad relationship with her boyfriend Christian. And Christian is awful, but him and his friends go to one of his friends' family home in Sweden, kinda. And then all kinds of bad stuff happens that we will probably talk about. But if you hate spoilers, then I don't think you should listen to this episode. I'm really sorry.
Well, I don't know what kind of fucking asshole would listen to a podcast talking about a movie that they're also concerned about. So, like, well, I didn't want them to actually talk about it.
I mean, well, Tim.
Here's the thing. Well, Tim doesn't give a shit. No one cares about Tim. We're cutting this out. We're not mentioning Tim. Tim's dead, by the way, remember? We killed Tim. We put Billy's brain in his body, and then Billy killed himself.
You could put Tim's head, like Tim's brain, back into Tim's head.
I forgot. Well, yeah, I do have his brain. His brain is in an old pickle jar. I put Billy's in a really nice, like, sterile medical jar, and Tim's is in an old pickle jar, but the lid's off, and like half the brain is sticking out of the pickle juice. It's very shoddy, and there's like an old sock sort of nearby it.
I'm sorry, Tim.
But no, that used to be a huge pet peeve of mine when I'd watch like DVDs with commentaries and shit, and they'd be like afraid to spoil shit, and it's like, if you're gonna watch a movie for the first time with the commentary on it, you're literally a psychopath. Like, who would choose
like,
to
why
watch?
would you do that?
Why would you do that ever? Anyway, Midsommar. I like
Midsommar. How did you feel about Midsommar?
Yeah.
How did you feel about the director's cut? Like, knowing that this was your first time seeing, like, the entirety of what his vision was.
It's interesting, because I've seen a couple of different reactions saying, like, oh, the director's cut, like, that's the definitive version. And it didn't feel much different. Like, the scenes that were added were cool, but not wholly necessary, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it definitely helps with character shit. But I mean, everything it added, you got from the original. Because I thought the theatrical cut was great too. So I didn't like it less, but I wouldn't say I liked it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But which did you prefer?
I prefer the director's cut.
Yeah.
Mostly because of all, like, the fleshing out of the character stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was that, the one scene with Danny and Christian as they're, like, going back and forth after, like, they're about to maybe sacrifice the kid.
Yeah, that's the biggest, I think, I found that to be, even though the kid scene is the biggest, like, set piece that's added, that the argument between Danny and Christian is probably the most important scene that was added in.
Yeah.
Because it definitely,
I
like,
that
late...
conversation.
Absolutely, 100%, yeah.
Like, her kind of, like, spilling her, psychology knowledge and, like, her actually understanding the phases of their relationship as, like, they're talking and him being, like, gaslighting her after the fact. Like, I'm like, this should have been in here from jump. I don't know why you decided to cut this out.
Well, here's the thing.
Like,
I'm fine with the cut. Even though I think it's a great scene, it's very well acted and it's well written, I think you get all of that stuff just from little bits throughout. You know what I mean? Because, like, that didn't change my opinion on their relationship. That just had them verbalizing it.
Yeah. I think that changed a little bit of how I saw Danny in her career path, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because, like, absolutely, like, dealing with her sister who has bipolar, and then also her anxiety, and then, like, trying to, like, diagnose their relationship. I was like, that's a really nice thing to just add in here. Like, it's fine being cut out, but, like, it being in there, I was like, oh, that's really nice for her that, like, she gets to, like, flex some of her psychology chops.
It was definitely her, like, the first time she didn't totally acquiesce to, like, his overbearingness. Like, most of their conversations where she put up any amount of fight ended with her apologizing or letting him off the hook. Yeah, and that was the first time she sort of put up a front, because I think she, you know, spent enough time at the village to, like, realize that, no, because I'm going to burn you alive in a bear eventually, so I should probably stick up for myself. Yeah, so, I mean, the entire movie, like, that's basically the crux of it, is that it's, like, a woman escaping from a toxic relationship and finding a new family, as fucked up as it is, you know?
They do the right things by her, though, in a way.
They do. It works for her. I mean, the weird thing is, because I've also seen reactions about the movie as in, that were like, I don't know if they were just trying to be like, push back against the general narrative that, like, that Christian fucking sucks, but it was like, well, he didn't deserve it. And it's like, even if you like the ending, no one thinks he actually deserved to be burned alive in a bear. But it's like, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for, like, shedding herself of this very toxic relationship. And in that regard, it's a happy, quote-unquote, ending for her. Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, if you take it into a real-life context, it's fucked up. It's very fucked up. Because she kind of just replaced a toxic relationship with a cult, you know.
I mean, that's what cults do.
It is what cults do.
Yeah. You burn your boyfriend alive, the only last remaining shred of your decency to the outside world, and then now you're with them. And you get to have all that free love and free sex and drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
Cults are fun.
Well, not for...
Don't argue with me.
Not for Mark and Josh and Christian and the two British people.
I felt bad for Connie and what his name was.
Yeah,
I forgot his name.
But the two British people.
Yeah. I felt bad for them.
Yeah, it's funny when, like, they're the only ones freaking out when the old people jump off a cliff into their death.
You all are fucked up. And then all of a sudden everybody's just like, I mean, is this the worst thing you've seen all day?
But it's like, and I get it, because it's like, that's a terrible thing to witness. But I also think it's like, like, if you told me culture did that, I would, like, get it. You know what I mean? Who wants to be 72? You know, that's too old.
I like that.
If a 72-year-old to me was like, oh, I want to kill myself. I'm too old and I just want to go back to the earth or whatever. I'd be like, yeah, that makes total sense. Do it. I don't want to see it, but feel free, man.
Like, I'll turn my back on you, but if you want to jump off that cliff, you can go ahead and do it.
I'm absolutely not smashing your head in if you just land on your feet like a moron and don't die right away.
Oh, man. That sucks.
Ari Aster hates heads. He doesn't like a head. He doesn't like people having heads. He hates them. He wants to destroy everybody's head. He doesn't like heads.
I also read something that says, like, Ari Aster hates bugs. So when Mark is complaining about, like, the ticks and the bugs and the everything, that's just Ari's way of being like, I don't like bugs. And I'm like, aw.
Mark?
Join the club.
Mark was the most sympathetic, I think, of the...
No, he was not.
Other than Danny, he absolutely was.
No, he was not.
He absolutely was. In what way
He
was he
pissed
not?
on the ancestral tree.
That was an accident. He didn't know it was
No,
an
he
ancestral
was.
tree.
No, it was not.
Oh, he purposely pissed on the ancestral tree?
I mean, I could see him doing that, but he didn't know. But at the same exact time, he didn't stop when the guy was just like, hey, why don't you just stop?
He
like,
did. He stopped. He didn't, like, keep going and give him a finger. He, like, stopped because the guy came running over to him and yelling. He stopped.
Also, he was, like, the best kind of disrespectful towards everything that was happening there.
Yeah, when he said the ladies walking backwards picking flowers were walking stupid or whatever. It's actually a surprisingly funny movie.
Yeah.
Like, like, there are a lot of really good reveals, like when they just walk by the bear in the cage or whatever.
Like, are we going to talk about the bear? It's like, there's a bear in a cage.
There's a bear in a cage. Or, when they get to the village and there's like this twinkly like fairy recorder music and then it pans over and you see it's like people actually playing that music in the village. Like it's not part of the soundtrack. And the fact that the children are watching Austin Powers.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's very
It was like, that's the outside world thing that you want to bring in here? Austin Powers?
Like,
I wonder which Austin Powers it was.
Probably
Imagine if it was Austin Powers, like, Gold member.
No, it couldn't have been Gold member. Maybe. No, it must have been the
Beyonce.
first one. That's a good question. Which one would it have been?
See? Because it's like Beyonce and, like, a wig kind of trumps everything else you'd be doing in that village.
Because, although he was Dutch, right? What was Gold member? Wasn't he Dutch or something?
So,
I
no.
don't know. Yeah, he was. Remember?
I don't know. It feels like you would know something like that.
Why would I know? Well, I think I do.
Because you're literally Rain Man. I don't know. Like, what?
I think he says he's Dutch or whatever. He's got a stupid accent. He's a really half-assed character. Although, frankly, it's a series that involves a character named Fat Bastard. So, half-assed characters are pretty much par for the course.
Oh my god.
So I really love the opening of the film. Like, just the entire...
I was about to say, there's like 3 openings to this film.
No, but like everything be pre-credits. Like it going out into the...
I know. Like, I feel like those are like 3 openings. Like, I feel like the forest is an opening. Her kind of freaking out over Christian is an opening. And like, if you take like, it's kind of like if you take those 3 things out and then you like put them in editing and put like one down, it could be just like a flow into an opening of just the credit, like of just like the logo and stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
Not really, because I don't really consider the opening. I would consider it maybe 2 parts, but the one part would be just sort of like an epilogue to the first one. Like, I mean, the opening is sort of setting the tone with the forest shots or whatever, but I don't really consider that an opening. But then the rest of it is like Danny freaking out about her sister and calling Christian about it, and it's about their relationship. And then the second part would be them showing like the aftermath of Danny's sister killing her parents and herself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think all of that works together really well as like almost its own like short film about like some really fucked up like terrible short film. Which Ari Aster has made a bunch of short films and they're all very good.
I've never seen that. Well, I
You
didn't really
need to
like
watch
Ari.
it. Oh.
I really didn't like Ari Aster because Hereditary, but now I like Ari Aster.
See, you know what's funny? Hereditary, I like more than Midsommar.
I absolutely hate Hereditary.
I love Hereditary. But it's the kind of movie that I really love, that I also totally get why somebody would be turned off by it, because it has like such a weird vibe, like not a weird vibe, but its own kind of like it makes me feel like that feeling you get after you throw up. That's what I get after watching the movie. Just like I feel like warm and dizzy after I watch it.
That actually makes sense because like when I first watched it, it's funny. It's just a funny movie throughout,
yeah.
But it also feels like
it's a fever dream. Yeah,
it feels like 20 different short films.
Kind of, yeah.
Like, and then like they're all just spliced together because like sometimes when I was watching it, I would look down and then I would look back up, and I'm just like, where did this kid come from? Why is this girl's head off? What's happening? Like, and it would be like one of those things where I would look down for like a half a second, or I would just blink, and then it would be just something else. But like this, like Midsommar, like I can actually just follow. It does feel like, again, 20 different short films at once, but it's like a more cohesive 20 short films at once.
I like that Ari Aster, even though I'm a huge fan of like a lean, mean, like quick concept and just like a fucking horror movie that's 80 minutes long is like the perfect horror movie to me. However, Ari Aster, like his thing is completely different, where he kind of likes to plop you down in like a feeling and in like a situation, you know? And like a lot of his characters are just stuck, and part of the film is just watching them be stuck in a situation, which can feel like stressful to even watch, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's another reason why I didn't like Hereditary, because I was so stressed out about the kid. And then like with Midsommar, I was so stressed out about Danny, and I was just like, I just want you to get out of this relationship. Y'all should have been broke up like 4 years ago before this even happened. Also, can we talk about how he should have just broken up with her instead of staying with her for 3 more years?
No, not 3 more years.
They were together for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then like by the time that the beginning had happened, they were already together for a year.
No. They were only together for like 6 months after that. No, you're wrong. You're wrong, sir.
How am I?
Because so it's winter. It's winter when, it's winter when the family when her sister kills the family.
Oh,
and he's considering breaking up, and he's
fucking season.
No, but he's talking to Pele and Mark and Josh about breaking up with her because that summer they're gonna go to wherever the fuck, right? Sweden. Mm-hmm. So they didn't wait 3 years. They weren't talking about it 3 years in advance. It was like 6 months or something.
Oh my god, that's worse. Just break up with her.
Well, that's the thing. It's like
it's such a short amount of time.
Yeah, he should have broken up with her. That would have been. And the weird thing is, because it's like because she talks on the phone with a friend, right? Who's like who seems pretty supportive. So she had another support system.
Yeah, and even I think that was Amy, like the one who texted her when she was in the car and was just like, "I'm early, but happy birthday." Mm-hmm. Like, she has friends.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. Like, I think that's why that call is important, because it kind of even cuts off an extra. Because it's like, obviously Christian isn't going to dump her on the day that her fucking sister kills her parents and herself, right? But it's like clearly she would be able to, like, he's making it worse, really.
Yeah.
He's not helping her move past it. He's making it worse for her.
Yeah.
So I think that phone call is important for sure.
Yeah. I also didn't notice that, like, because Danny has anxiety, I didn't really realize until this showing with headphones on how important her breathing is in this. Like, especially like the sound design of just her being like, and then like when her wailing and crying and stuff, it was just, I'm just like, oh Jesus Christ. And then like her actually like doing the breathing and stuff with the women, it was just like a shared breath, and I was just like, oh, community. You're gonna be here for the rest of your life.
The sound design's really cool in it, and they even mentioned like when they first trip, when they get there, it's a very funny scene. First of all,
oh my god, yeah.
When they're just sitting there, and then like
that's when Mark's really endearing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best he is, because he's having kind of a bad trip, and then a person's walking nearby, and he's like, "Oh God, who's that?" And then, actually, Christian's very funny in that too, because he's like, "Oh God, it's a new person." And Mark's like, "I can't handle a new person right now." But they mentioned like seeing the trees breathe and seeing the earth breathe and shit like that, and then like the fact that it's a very like earthy granola kind of culty shit, where like the entire community grieves with each other and feels pain with each other and shit like that.
Yeah, I like that for her though.
Yeah, that's why it's sort of important to show in the sound design like her breathing.
Yeah,
because it kind of connects her to the earth and to the cult and whatnot. I liked Josh's death because it was just one big old Texas Chainsaw Massacre reference.
I was about to say, like, that, I was like, that scene feels familiar, and I don't like it. But, like, I loved it. But I loved it.
I kind of didn't expect it, so it's funny that he just, like, plopped a Texas Chainsaw Massacre reference right in the middle of it.
Also, this is a weird thing. But so, okay. When they're sleeping in the thing for the first night, there is a couple that kind of, like, sneaks off together.
Yeah.
It's never mentioned again. I never see these people again, I don't think, because everybody in this cult looks alike. But were they I don't know how to face this question. Were they like
fucking?
No, like, I mean, like, that's obvious, but like, were they like a part of the cult?
I think so. I think they were teenagers or something who were part of the village, because like all of the kids until they're whatever years old live in that or sleep in that place, right?
Yeah,
but so I think they were just kids sneaking off to fuck or whatever, or fool around.
Okay, because then my next question, and I wrote it really big. I was just like, were they going to inbreed because like?
I mean, they may have been. I didn't see who their parents were, but it might have been.
I mean,
it is kind of odd that, like, so when they stop at the first place before they get to the village, when they first do the mushrooms, there seem to be like several sort of backpackers, like visitors to Sweden or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then when they actually get to the village, I felt like there were more visitors, but by the end, it was only
like
Danny's group and the two British people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like you would think there would be like there was like 3 came with another girl, I think, and then there was like 2 other people. Like there were a bunch of people in regular clothes when they got to the village, so it was kind of just like, where did you all go?
It's odd. It's almost like, I don't know, were they weeded out? Like, were they like, no? But it seems like you would just, especially because at the end they had to sacrifice some of their own people, which everybody was chill with, but it's like, just kill a bunch of fucking Americans. Who gives a shit?
I'm also really confused about how that worked, because then I was just like, so why wasn't Pele, like, sacrificed? Or is it just because like he didn't, or it wasn't because like he brought the most and he like also brought them the May Queen?
I don't think he was awarded for doing that so much as like it wasn't a punishment to be sacrificed, so it didn't matter. Like I know Ulf his brother's name or whatever.
Sure.
Ulf, maybe, I don't know. No, Ulf was the guy who was upset about Mark pissing on the tree, but he like volunteered to be I think it was like I just think it was a volunteer thing to fill out the 9, right?
No, because it was like...
Except the one. They drew one name, but she chose Christian instead of...
Yeah, that was between like him and Christian, but then it was just like the 2 who brought outsiders, the two who brought outsiders, like, were already gonna be sacrificed. And then it was the two, because it was 4 and 4. So it was like the 4 that they had brought. So it was like the 2 British people, Mark and Josh. And then
the 2 people who killed the 2 old people.
Yeah, and then it was...
So that's 6.
Christian, and that... Wait.
Christian, Ulf.
No.
Yeah, that's
no,
8.
You're right. It's just like... But then there was, like, the 2 others. It was, like, the 2 others who brought, like, people in. So...
I don't remember them specifically mentioning the people bringing people in had to be sacrificed.
Yeah, because, like, if you brought 2 people in, then, like, that was, like... You're already going into the fire. But then it was also Pele, who they were just like, and Pele, for your unclouded mind and bringing us our May Queen, now you get to just do that. But then I was just like, so why didn't he get it? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, the other guy had a clouded mind because he wanted to bone Connie.
Yeah, you're right. He did mention that.
See, I'm right about some stuff.
The only time I ever really felt bad for Christian was when he was tripping really hard while they were eating, and then that man clapped in his face. Because he was tripping so hard, and he very politely was like, excuse me, what's happening? And the guy clapped in his face, and everything went crazy, and he was like, why did you do that? And I legitimately felt bad for him at that point.
I think Jack Reynor just has a nice cry face, or a nice just sad face.
He does have a good sad face. He's really good in it as being like the kind of douchebag who you think was nice, but then you find out like, oh no, he was like a real piece of shit to his girlfriend, and I never even like noticed or whatever.
No, yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking of good cry faces, Florence Pugh is
she
makes the saddest puppy dog faces in the world.
Like, her lips literally turn down.
It's adorable. She looks like a cartoon. It's insane.
She does. Yeah. I'm like, oh. Like, every time she cried, I was just like, please stop. You're gonna make me cry.
Yeah. It was always very, very sad to see her cry. So they did a good job, because it's like, I never wanted to see her cry, and when she did cry, I wanted her to fuck people up afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well. I know you hate this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Okay. So, it really, really fascinated me, the astrological matches, and I don't know why.
I don't hate it, I just don't know it. I don't know what you're talking about, but feel free to continue.
Well, in the script, I got excited, and Michael got less than excited, because...
Yeah, I would say neutral to nothing. Which are kind of the same thing, but yes.
So, like, in that weird section where, like, was her name Savi? Sav? Grandmother Sav? Grandmother Siv?
Something like that.
The wonderful woman who put all this into motion. She had said that, like, Christian and Maya were, like, an astrological match. And then I was just like, I wonder what Pele and Danny is. And Danny's a Cancer, and I'm a Cancer, so that made me really happy. And then Pele is a Taurus, and apparently that's a great astrological match. But then I realized that before Danny goes and sees, like, Christian, like, boning Maya, Pele's next to Grandmother Siv's, or whatever her name is like Hut. So I was wondering if he was gonna go with her to get an astrological match.
And okay,
yeah, none of this, like, computes, but I found it really interesting because like Christian went in to see her to, like, be like, you have been approved to mate. You haven't been approved to marry Maya, but you've just been approved to mate. And then, like, Pele was just waiting there and kind of just like, sup, girl? But then, like, she went into the different direction and tried to see about her boyfriend. But then it made me, like, wonder if she was going to go see if he would, well, I guess made me wonder if like he was actually gonna find out if she was like a match for him, since like both of them had really good chemistry and stuff.
Well, I do agree that it's interesting that the film itself brought up the astrological signs, and then in the script, but it's not even in the director's cut, is it? That conversation? No.
Yeah.
But in the script, so they hinted it throughout. They have like a few conversations, Danny and Pele, where they very clearly have something going on, like some kind of chemistry. So I think between them mentioning astrological signs in one scene and having a scene that was ultimately cut that mentioned Danny and Pele's astrological signs and them being a match, I definitely think it was on purpose, for sure, that they were like a match. Because I see a version of like the movie where she sticks around the village and like shoots out a bunch of Pele kids and then like jumps off a cliff at 72.
Oh, that sucks. Their life cycle sucks.
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, although I'm kind of into it in that...
I mean, the 72 years old and you want to die, yes, that's fine. It's just like the...
Being forced to. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, kind of like if somebody were to tell me like, hey, you're getting up there in age, we need you to put on this blue robe and do what you need to do, I'd be like, can I leave first?
Yeah, I think, but I guess it's because they like would have grown up since they were children, knowing like that's just how it happens. That's how everybody dies, unless they die somehow before that. They jump off a cliff. That's how you die.
Oh, that's depressing.
You know what I mean? I guess so. Yeah, but
I guess so.
I don't know. It's like. I don't know. It's not as depressing as I would have assumed. Like, I'm shocked, too, that I'm not as depressed by it. But it's like, if that's, like, all you think, and, like, 72 is a decent run, you know what I mean? What's the average lifespan for, like, for a lady, it's, like, 78, and for a dude, it's, like, 74 or something?
I don't know. People are living to, like, 105.
Average, though. Some people die when they're 2.
Ow.
I know it's depressing. No, but I don't know. But it's.
I think it might be. I think for you, maybe it might be because it's in their culture.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it didn't seem. It would be worse if they were like pushed off the cliff. But it's like because of what they believe, like it, and they're not wrong. They become part of the earth. Like they get cremated and put at the base of that dead piss tree and they become part of the earth. So it's a totally decent life cycle. And besides, what's another 20 years of puttering around some shitty old village? You know what I mean? Like 72 years of the exact same scenery and that exact same recorder music and those exact same like walking backwards bitches picking the flowers. Like you're telling me that you need another decade or two of that? No, thanks.
I like the backwards picking flower women.
It looked lovely, I'll give it that. But I'm sure every year seeing that, I don't think so.
I think it would have been fine. You get to watch Austin Powers.
You're right. But that would have just been the last, like, that would have been... I guess you're right. If I was 72 in, 1999 or whatever, 98, when it came out, and then I'd be like, please give me another few years to get to gold member. And they would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? What's a gold member? So did you said you had a game?
I don't have a game.
What were you talking about then? You were just a liar? You just lied?
I was trying to figure it out on the train and then I couldn't.
Oh, good. A last minute train game.
This is gonna make you play I'm gonna make you play the astrology game.
Okay, do it. Let's do it.
Well, I don't know how to do it.
Okay, well then it's not a game. Then how can you make me play it?
And you also don't know like any of like the zodiac signs.
How's that my fault? I didn't know I had to do homework before this.
Well, I didn't know I had to do homework for your game last time.
What was my game last time that you had to do homework for?
I don't remember, but it was like, oh,
cool.
we had to like pick like two movies and then like kind of mishmash them together.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, but
yeah.
I admitted that it wasn't a game.
No,
I did. I said it wasn't
But
really
you
a game.
said it was a game, but then you were just like, oh wait, no, it wasn't a game.
No, that's not what happened. Go to the tape.
Yeah.
That's not true.
I don't listen to Film Runners. What are you talking about?
Yeah, good call. I don't know that. I don't have time. What am I, Tim? Gonna listen to Film Runners?
Hi, best friend Tim.
Cut that. Don't mention Tim. I know the astrological signs. I just don't know anything about them. I know of them.
Do you know your
some of
astrological
their
sign?
names. I know mine.
What is yours?
It's Sagittarius. It's the
you're
Archer
right.
Centaur.
I don't. That
Coming at me like I don't know my astrological sign. Get out of here. Typical Cancer. Do you have any other notes? Ooh, I noticed that if we had planned this better, we could have done, or at all, because we just did it last minute because Billy killed himself. So, but I chose spring and then you chose Midsommar. We should have had an autumn and a winter movie too. Wouldn't that have been cool?
Oh my god, that would have been so cool.
But we fucked up because we did. What was the first one? Oh, Abby.
Yeah, that was my.
You fucked up. Nothing more autumnal than blaxploitation exorcism.
15 criteria for these episodes.
Well, we don't. It's just funny that it turned out that we did spring and then Midsommar.
Oh, the one thing that I really liked, and is going to talk about like Pele and Danny again because like I'm in love with them and I think that they deserve the best things ever. I really liked his speech to Danny, like way more than I thought that I would.
Yeah, he did a good job. Like the actor did a really good job because I mean, his entire character is luring his supposed friends to their death, but he comes off pretty chill and charming and like, not guilty. Like I never really I never think to blame him for it, even though he absolutely lured 3 of his best friends to their death.
See, I feel like I can't blame him for it because it's his custom. Like that's like a thing that like they do. They just lure unsuspecting people there. Maybe one gets to stay in the village and the rest of them are dead.
Wait, so you're balking at the fact that I'm okay with a 72-year-old choosing to die because it's part of their custom, but forcing, like, people in their 20s to die against their will, you're into it because it's their culture?
Technically, it wasn't a forced thing.
It wasn't forced! Oh yeah, I'm sure they all chose.
It.
Yeah, I forgot the part right before they smashed Josh's head in with a fucking hammer when he was like, yes, please kill me, I'm glad to die.
He should not have read the Ruby Router. I'm just saying.
I don't disagree. That's why I'm saying Mark is the most sympathetic of the group.
No, he's not. He pissed on a tree.
Okay, but Christian and Josh did worse. I'm saying he's the most sympathetic of the three.
Well, I mean, Christian kind of like sort of deserved it. Not really. I mean, like he doesn't deserve to be burned up in a bear outfit. But
this is what I was saying at the beginning. Nobody deserves to be burned up in a bear outfit except maybe Tim. But
no, he's
of the
Tim
3
as a child
in the universe of, I don't care if Tim has a child. He has a wife too. She can look after Cameron. I'll raise Cameron. I'll marry his wife and I'll raise Cameron. I'm coming for your son, Tim. I'm gonna raise him and he'll never know your name.
Protector.
No, Tim, but Tim's dead. Remember, Tim's dead. He's in a pickle jar right now.
I forgot what we were talking about.
I don't know. Do you have any recommendations?
Wicker Man.
Oh yeah, of course.
God, not off the top of my head, just Wicker Man.
Wicker Man, yeah.
Oh, The Witch.
Oh yeah, The Witch, another fantastic movie.
And The Lighthouse. I haven't seen it yet, but I just want everybody to watch it.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. Apparently it's all just farting and jacking off, so I know I'm gonna love it.
I just read that review today where it's just like, Robert Pattinson's jerk-off scene could have went further. And I'm just like, wait, what?
Could have went further?
Could have went further, yeah.
Fucking sickos writing these reviews. I would recommend Wicker Man, of course, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Hereditary. I'd also, if you want to see a horror movie that's about like a relationship breaking up, I think Possession is a good.
Ooh, Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah, and a specific recommendation for Insha. You need to watch Ari Aster's short film called The Strange Thing About the Johnsons.
Okay.
Don't look up anything about it beforehand. If you just Google it, you should find like a Vimeo link or something. And you should watch it. It's very
just
good.
Pop right up.
There you go.
And
don't read anything about it. Just watch it or don't watch it.
I'm just trying to see if it's the full movie or not. Why is this man's...
Well, it's a short film. I don't know. It's like 14 minutes or something.
It's 29 minutes. Thank you very much.
Well, it's the same thing as 14.
No, it's not.
Fair enough.
20... Wait, before credits, it takes 27 minutes of my life. So thanks a lot for that.
That's like one episode of, I don't know, Frasier plus commercials.
I hate Frasier, so this is not a good analogy.
Well, I'm not saying it's exactly like that. I'm saying lengthwise. Okay, so next week, I think I couldn't really. This is off the dome because I didn't have one prepared. So I'm looking at a list of movies, and have you seen the movie Bug?
Yes.
Fuck. Right.
That's the one with Luke.
No. What are you talking about?
Wait.
Who's Lukey Luke?
I know what this movie is. Yeah, I've seen this. Michael Shannon. Oh,
Luke?
because there's there's another one. It's Vacancy. Vacancy has Luke.
Luke Wilson, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
You're right.
But no, I've seen this.
Okay. Well, then I'll think about it and I'll get back to you. All right, but that's the end. And yeah, so Billy's still a brain in a jar.
Yay! Oh no, not yet. Sorry.
But he's got a green bulb, and maybe we'll get him a red one.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll get Tim a nicer jar.
And I gotta get them both fish food.
I'll pay for Tim's jar.
No, Tim's fine. I'll get them both fish food though. Hey, the cat's getting at Tim. Hold on.